So this video is going to be me going over some of the bench press variations on what I use to kind of help improve my bench press. Now, if you don't know how to bench press or if you don't know how to do a powerlifting bench press, please go to my YouTube channel, The Monk Powerlifter. You could just literally write it down in the search bar and my channel will pop up, and there's a playlist called Getting Started in the Gym Powerlifting 101 where I pretty much teach you the basics of everything about powerlifting. And for this particular video, you will want to check out the how to bench press with tips and concepts to think about. Again, this is a free video. You don't have to pay me to do anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just for your own personal education, so you have a better slash easier time to get stronger and to be safer as you continue on this fitness journey. Alright, so the first concept that I want to talk about is called overloading, or ways to bench press while using close to your max or even more than your max, to kind of help shock your nerves or let your nervous system and your tendons and stuff like that to get ready for an actual heavier bench PR. So for example, the picture, you're using a slingshot. If you don't know what a slingshot is, just Google it, get one, and start practicing with it, and start working on it. And then, a step beyond the slingshot or more advanced is kind of using a bench press shirt and boards. So the main purpose of using a bench press shirt is pretty much just to kind of, again, same purpose as a slingshot, to kind of overload your chest where you can hold way more weight than you would normally do if you didn't have a shirt. And what that does is it kind of gets your body primed and shocked to hold more weight when you decide to remove the bench press shirt. Same thing with the boards, because you have a board there, you're going to do less range of motion and you're going to be able to move way more weight, and it helps get your tendons and your nerves and your technique used to heavier weights. Now, I just want to add, just because you are using a bench press shirt doesn't mean you have to compete in a powerlifting competition where you utilize the bench shirt. I think, people always get this idea like you have to compete or something like that. No, you want to utilize these tools for whatever purpose it is that you're using it. And if you're just in the gym trying to get stronger, trying to get a better bench press, to eventually decide to compete one day, why not utilize the bench press shirt? Why not utilize a slingshot in order to help you improve your bench press? It just so happens that in the powerlifting world there is a equipped powerlifting competition where you are able to utilize a bench press shirt. And then there is also the raw bench press competition where you don't use a bench press shirt. So, I just want you to kind of get the idea that just because you are using a bench press shirt or a slingshot does not mean you have to utilize that in a competition. Just use it for whatever purpose it is that you are training for. And in this particular purpose, if it is to increase your bench press just for your own personal happiness and content, then utilize it for that. In the future, if you want to utilize it for a competition, then you will do that then. Okay, so the next variation that I want to go over is the reverse band bench press. So if you are at a gym where you have a squat rack or some sort of rack where you can kind of hook the bands on top of you and kind of hook the bands onto your bench press, one thing about the banded bench press is as the weight kind of comes closer down to your chest, you're going to have more help with the bands, and as you lock it out, the weight's going to slowly get heavier. So in this way, it's a way to overload your bench press and kind of help you get used to heavier weights. One of the reasons why I really like reverse band bench press though is because the bands are holding onto the weight. It doesn't feel as heavy or as scary with the bands, so you can practice other aspects of your bench if you want it, such as learning how to use your leg drive into your bench press. And then at the same time, because it's overload, you could literally load as much weight as you want and use it to kind of help improve your lockout strength. Okay, so another favorite of mine is called the dead man bench press, or you can think of it kind of like a deadlift, but for dead, a deadlift for bench press. And the way you want to do it is you want to set the pins literally about an inch off your chest. Now, I usually like to do about 10 sets of these, but each rep is one set. So you never want to do multiple reps at once. The idea is it's so awkward to set up for your technique. It really helps you practice your technique. It helps you practice strength off your chest, and it helps you practice bar path. Now, if you watch this rep, it's going to be a lot harder for me to press to the point where I couldn't press it because I didn't put the bar at the right spot. So this exercise is very good for those people who have a hard time trying to find the sweet spot on the bench press every single time. And what this does is it literally helps you practice setting up the same way every single time. It helps you practice strength off your chest, and then at the same time it helps you find the sweet spot on your bar path. So this exercise is very good for that. And I usually recommend people do this about like 10 sets of ones and roughly about 10 seconds rest in between. The only rest time you have is the time that you're setting yourself up for the next set, and it has to be perfect every single time. All right, another variation that I personally really enjoy is the floor presses. One of the reasons why I really like this exercise is because it gets rid of your leg drive. So it really focuses on the upper body portion of the bench press, and since you're only going roughly about halfway to a degree, it's very dangerous for you to just literally let the weight drop. So what this does is it really hones down on your ability to control the weight coming down. And this is a concept that I always talk about when you bench press, where you want to push and pull the weight into your body. And the floor press is really good because if you just let it loose or let it go, then your elbow is going to bang the floor and it's going to hurt really bad. So the idea is to bring the weight down in a very controlled manner where you feel your triceps kind of touch the floor, and then once you feel your triceps touch the floor, this is a very hard position to maintain. So I even pause it there because it sucks to be there, but that is the reason why you want to utilize this exercise to get better. So why should we fear the part that sucks? So go ahead and pause it there and literally reverse that bench press by